Oh my gosh. So pale. Let's see. For those who are watching this back, I'm just gonna see if I can adjust the camera a little bit so we can get the cards, Kirk, and myself in view. Hi Irene, how are you? Hi Dadka. Hi Abby. Hey everyone, welcome. Oh hi Rolado, how are you? I don't know how I had this set up perfectly, and now that I'm live, I don't think it's. Look, how are we supposed to. Let me try to fix this real quick. We have to, I think we're gonna have to come with a. Hi everyone, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy new moon in Gemini. Are there any Geminis here at the moment? Sorry, you guys, I'm literally just trying to fix this camera for us. So all you're gonna see is Kirk at the moment, but that's fine. He loves that. Hi everyone, welcome. Sending so much love to you guys. Let me see how that looks. This might have to be the compromise. We might have to half do me, half like with the table here. That might be the only way this works. It feels more, I guess, informal and real. So I'm just looking at the chat as well. So Irene, today's video is going to start with a, oh my gosh, excuse me, I'm very warm from that. Today's video is going to start with a quick collective reading on the new moon in Gemini to see how that is impacting the collective. And then we'll just be talking about friendship. So we're going to do a pick a card friendship, but I want to wait till more people come. So we'll do a full moon in Gemini first, and then there'll be a pick a group. There'll be a pick a group reading. Hi everyone, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Sorry, I'm just wiping. It's so warm here. I have like candles burning and this light is burning so bright. Oh wow, Czech Republic, Melbourne, how are you? Hi everyone. Kirk's in the background, yes, he's here. He's not missing a beat. He was like, you're going live. I'm going to be there. Do we like this setup or do you want me to lift it a little bit? Because I kind of wanted you to see some of the table. Hi everyone. Wow, all these Aussies, love it. Wow, I love that. France, Caribbean, Brisbane. The setup looks fine. Okay, good. Ah, you guys, I don't know what time it is in other parts of the world, but it is nighttime in Australia, so I do have red wine here, like the title suggests. And yes, it wasn't full because you don't fill a red wine glass to the top, but I have already started drinking some of it. Hi everyone, I'll give it like another minute and then we'll get into our collective reading looking at the new moon in Gemini. Welcome everybody. It's 7 in the morning. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. 1 o'clock in Croatia. Love that. 1 p.m. in Prague. You guys are on the same line, I think, the same timeline. 1 p.m. in South Africa. Yes. 7 a.m. in the US. Too early. Oh goodness. Wow, look at all these time zones. 4:30 in India. So you guys would be a few hours behind us. It's literally just after 9 now, so 4.5 hours behind Brisbane time. Wow. Hi everyone. Is anybody else, does anybody else have a beverage? Are we at least hydrated? Are people bringing water at least? Staying hydrated? Yes, I love that. International crew assemble. This isn't a race, guys. Yeah, kind of. Yay, some people have wine. Love it. Love it, love it. This light is very bright though. Holy heck. Before we continue, because the worst thing that could happen is that sweat gets into my eyes and then I'm like freaking out in the middle of a reading and making you guys feel even more concerned than you need to be. So I'm gonna just dab this away. This light is ridiculous. I know it looks right, but without it, it's very dark right now. We're nearly at 5 minutes, so I'm gonna start our general collective new moon in Gemini reading soon. 5 minutes. Okay, I'm excited. I'm going to keep my Amazonite close because Mercury retrograde has really been messing me up. Obviously, most of you guys are aware of the tech issues. I found out today, I got another call. Welcome those in the chat and those here present live. You're getting the update first. I got a call from my internet company today about my internet. The reason why I'm sharing this with you is because until I have stable internet connection, I won't be able to offer personal readings. So I'm waiting for my internet to get fixed so that I can offer personal readings again. And I found out today that they lied, basically. The NBN lied to my internet company and said that they had come here and they'd sent tech people here to fix the issue. And I'm not trying to get in the middle of something because she was fishing for dirt. When she called me, she was fishing for dirt, and I was like, I don't want to get in the middle of this, but I'll be honest with you, I work from home and nobody's been here, so it's been a month now without internet. That's also why I've been easing off my readings, but mostly just to conserve my energy so I can do more stuff like this until I get a better connection. So yes, literally, sums up Aussie internet. NBN is crap, really bad. We have really bad internet, but yeah, what can you do? Can't control it, so we're just going to do what we can. And I'm so grateful to just be able to do this, connect with you guys. I love connecting with you. That's the main reason that I wanted to do this on such a large scale. I could have easily just been a tarot reader in my local little town, but I think it's so beautiful, and with the technology that we do have, it's so awesome being able to actually connect with you guys, and all these different time zones. That's so bizarre that we're all able to meet almost in a little I don't know, what's the word, matrix room together. We're all sitting there in our different time zones. All right, so for those who have just joined, because we've just jumped up to 280 viewers, which is amazing for this hour. I know that you guys are all in different areas of the world too. I'm about to do a new moon in Gemini collective reading. We're going to get started to see what this energy will bring us. The solar eclipse, I believe, was today. I think that would have been Pacific Standard Time, though. I think for people in the Southern Hemisphere, we might get it tomorrow. Correct me if I'm wrong. You know how I go with astrology. I'm no professional, so I'm just here with the tarot and the oracles, channeling messages from the spirit. So, solar eclipse is now, especially if it's daytime. It's nighttime at the moment, so I feel like we are going to see some of the effects tomorrow. 11 p.m. in New Zealand. Wow, so you guys are 2 hours ahead of Brisbane time at the moment. Okay, UK, the eclipse just ended. All right, I don't know if we would have seen anything then. Goodness. Okay, well, personally, I feel new moon and full moon energies a week after and a week before they happen. So today's reading is really just talking about that collective energy of what the new moon in Gemini may bring us. So I'm going to start with our Moonology Oracle cards. It just feels fitting. Kirk is behind me, by the way. Expect him to start acting up soon. He usually gets his treats later at night now so that I can sleep in the mornings. I give him treats late at night. All right. Spirit, I did cleanse, but I feel like I need to do this again because everybody's just joined. So I'm just going to cleanse some more Palo Santo real quick. I literally have just been spending the last hour cleansing this room because I don't usually do readings here unless I'm going live on Instagram. And even then, it's not really live. I just do that Q&A on Instagram for those who know. So I feel like I just need to quickly get a bit more smoke in this room and attract positive energy. We're trying to protect ourselves from harmful energy. Okay, so Spirit, please help me get the most honest, clear, accurate messages for the collective today, including the groups. I just want to start as well, you guys. This month is Pride Month internationally, but in Australia as well, we had Reconciliation Week this month as well. So I just quickly want to pay my respects to the traditional owners of this land, current, past, and emerging. I feel like I need to do that because I'm Indigenous myself, and the place that I live has a very rich history as well when it comes to Indigenous cultures. So Spirit, speaking of the collective, ooh, okay, we're gonna put those to the side. That has something to do with something else. With the collective today, Spirit, what can you tell us about the new moon in Gemini? What can you tell us about this new moon in Gemini? What may it offer us as a collective? Ooh, you guys, I like that. Okay. It's definitely, okay. It's definitely going to force us to examine our partnerships. Don't we love that? Sorry for the face, but I personally have been working on close relationships a lot, but this is different. It's doing it in a way where we're supposed to be, this is interesting. They're saying less selfish, but it's kind of about us as well. So how do you mean, Spirit? Our bottom deck energy, should I say, is bring love into the situation. We have a new moon in Aquarius. I do read reversals in this deck because I've been working with it for so long. We're going to be using new decks though, and I don't know if I'm comfortable doing reversals in those decks yet. We'll see how we go. So first of all, in front of me here, I've got to show you guys because you can't see the table. We have a full moon in Aquarius reversed coming out. We have the full moon in Sagittarius, which I was really excited to see for us. We just had a full moon in Sagittarius too, so that's really positive. It shows that the energy from that full moon is still fresh, it's still current, it's still able to help us. And the full moon in Sagittarius says, look at the bigger picture. So when taking this into a new moon in Gemini, it tells me that there's still like residual effects of that beautiful sort of positive, changeable energy that Sagittarius can bring. But Gemini is very analytical and communicative. So look at the bigger picture tells me that certain things are going to be sticking out to us. And even though they feel dramatic, or even though they feel like they really pull us and call for our attention, it's like Spirit is saying this is a temporary fixation that will pass. So in the next week, we might be like micromanaging areas of our lives. We might be very critical on specific key areas of our lives. We could be looking at our partners or our family or ourselves in a very critical, harsh way. And I feel like this will pass with the new moon's energy because it is just kind of forcing us to look at our partnerships. I don't think that this is a negative view, but I definitely think that with the full moon in Libra card reversed, it's almost flipping things on its head so that we're able to see things in a different perspective. And I think that this different perspective isn't permanent. It's just like a quick glimpse into another person's shoes, if that makes sense. They're really highlighting partnerships though. So whoever you're working closely with in the next week or two, I feel like we're going to feel very either bonded or critical towards them. It's either going to really strengthen relationships or it could accidentally put people in the hot seat for things that we may not even care about in a week, you know? Let's move forward though. I do have 3 more cards in front of me. I can see someone laughing. Wow, I just had this experience the other day. Can you talk about the solar double eclipse? Oh my days. We're just going to address what Spirit wants to bring into the situation because I'm no astrologist, but we'll see what Spirit has to say. Emotions are running high, supermoon. Yeah, look at that. But it's reversed, which proves my point. I do think that this new moon in Gemini is going to make us feel very emotions are running high, but I don't think it's permanent. I've got to be honest with you. And I can see myself having this issue as well. I can see the people I love having this issue. I feel like it's just a matter of needing to take time out, which is what this card is telling us at the end here. Take time out to breathe, which is the disseminating moon. And I do think that once this moon does start to disseminate, we're going to feel different. Well, it's not going to, is it? Because it's not a full moon. There's something about this new moon energy that is bringing things into light, bringing things onto the surface that may just get filtered out as this week ends. That's what I feel anyway. We also have faith in your dreams. This is a waxing crescent moon. Goodness me, I'm still talking, but I feel like the internet might be messing up a little bit. Are you guys able to see me okay, or? Because the chat just disappeared, and I know it does that when the internet's a little bit bleh. Oh, I will try not to be a drama queen for the next 2 weeks. Oh my goodness. Yes, me too. So have faith in your dreams. Thank you everyone in the chat for confirming that as well. I wasn't sure. Have faith in your dreams is beautiful. I think that is the optimism that we need to focus on. If you guys can see what I can see, the 2 cards that are in the middle of the spread are these 2 cards. Look at the bigger picture and have faith in your dreams. That tells me that this new moon in Gemini is maybe a bit more volatile for those of us that are very logical, analytical, I would say. Those of us that are super analytical, that are very critical at times towards ourselves and towards the ones that we love. This new moon may trigger really intrusive thoughts that seem out of character as well. Like, it's not supposed to be something that's very scary, but I think that this retrograde might have something to do with it as well. It feels like this is completely temporary. It is supposed to bring clarity towards us, but it's supposed to do it in a way where it helps us see ourselves better. And it's not supposed to be out here ruining relationships. It's not supposed to get that far. I think that this new moon in Gemini overall is supposed to help us see things from a different perspective, encouraging us to take time out, because it is going to trigger certain thoughts that we go, wait a minute, that's weird, like that's different. I haven't thought like that in a long time, or even though I'm having this thought, I don't necessarily believe it to be true. You may find yourself just being very hyperactive as well. I feel like this energy, it's supposed to encourage us to see things differently, but instead it might make us just kind of go on a little bit of a hiatus. Like, it's very wild. I wish I could show you guys the table, but I had to compromise like this. Now, I like this. I do think that this energy serves a purpose. I think that it's good to be a little bit over communicative at times, or a little bit over analytical, because I don't see this happening in a bad way. I don't see this ruining relationships, ruining solid things. Things that are meant to be in your life won't be affected by this. If anything, it is bringing more information, because I think that the next full moon, which will be a full moon in Capricorn if I'm right, it's going to bring a lot more, I'm hearing force. So I feel like it's going to have a lot more bearing on the long-term things that we're working towards. It's like this full moon in Sagittarius was trying to shake things up for us. The new moon in Gemini is trying to make things obvious to us by highlighting specific things. And then the full moon in Capricorn is when we finally seem to be committing to certain areas of our lives, certain things that we seem fixated on. We almost need this new moon in Gemini to get more information, to figure out what we want to put our energy towards. Now, I did get these 3 cards that flew out of the deck in the middle of the beginning of the shuffling, for those who remember. Now, before I read them, I think it's time that I just take a sip of wine, because I'm talking so fast. So I'm just gonna have a quick sip of wine. Anybody else who's got some beverages, sip along with me. It feels weird just filling the silence by myself. I shouldn't say that though, I might have just jinxed us. Kirk might wake up soon and start filling the silence for himself. Okay, wow, oh, I didn't actually look at these cards properly. I did see the first card. We have New Moon in Capricorn, your hard work is paying off. I do like that. And that's what I was feeling. There is that upcoming full moon in Capricorn. That's a new moon though. We have You Are Good Enough, full moon in Virgo. So we've got a lot of earth energy back here. I didn't see the Virgo card. And we have A New Start is Coming, new moon. So this is kind of interesting. There's 2 stories coming through. There's 2 different stories coming through. So I don't know why, but one of the stories is something that we had been putting off, something that we had needed to get into a regular routine with, and it has something to do with longevity. It has something to do with the opposite of instant gratification, you know, that kind of thing that you need to start today in order to see results in 2 years' time. Is something like that that is going to finally start after this new moon in Gemini. We need the new moon in Gemini to show us why we really want to do this. We need the new moon in Gemini to create pressure on these points so that we actually do this. I think that Spirit's saying that we are going to be starting a lot of new routines, a lot of new commitments after this new moon. And I do think that with the new moon in Capricorn reversed, it's just about finding confidence or having the right information to actually commit ourselves to something. We don't want to rush this, is what I feel. I feel like Spirit is encouraging us to use this time to just kind of rest and let our information either settle, because either we're over stimulated with too much information, we don't know what to commit ourselves to, or we're not receiving enough of the right information and we're having too much of the junk fill our psyche. This is a lot deeper than I was expecting. I was like, can you just tell us to drink water and sleep a little bit more maybe? Like, this is pretty deep. I think we might have really intense second half of the year. Did she do Taurus yet, guys? Oh no, you guys, this is, for those who just joined, this is the new moon in Gemini collective reading. So that was the first message. The first message was that some of us, and I feel like this is a high proportion of us, will be starting new long cycles. The idea behind these cycles is longevity, long-term results, the opposite of instant gratification. It's important with these cycles that we get into a regular routine. And I feel like in order to do this, there needs to be the right information instilled, or in order to offer us confidence, basically, to commit ourselves to this new beginning. Now, the opposite, which is feeling like only 20 to 30% of us, the opposite is some of you are going to decide to withdraw energy from things that you have committed yourself to. Some of you are going to decide that enough is enough. I've put too much energy into this routine and I'm not seeing any results. And this is because you are trying to prepare yourself for a new beginning. So the new moon in Gemini really is trying to bring you the answers you need to know what decision you need to make. And I feel that for those of you who know that something is seemingly you're putting a lot of energy into it, only getting a little bit of results back, something is taking too much from you and seeming to come to an end anyway. I feel like by the full moon in Capricorn, you're really going to be confirming this to yourself. You're not going to want to continue. And for most of you, this has to do with your health. For others of you, this has to do with how much you give to others, like people that you seem to care about. I think for some of you, this has to do with your work, though, with Capricorn and Virgo here. It's something that would form part of a routine. So it could have to do with jobs. It could have to do with family, potentially, but it feels like mostly health or some sort of something that you would put a lot of hard work into and that you would commit yourself to. So that's interesting. I might just get some advice for us because we've figured out what's going to happen for the new moon in Gemini now. So let us get some advice. I think we need a little bit of a cold bath after that shockingly honest new moon in Gemini reading. Bless. It had to be an earth sign reading where air sign reading where we get that much information. Ooh. Okay, I didn't really ask a question yet, so I'm just gonna put those back. All right. Okay, Spirit, what advice do you have for the collective with this new moon in Gemini? What advice might be helpful to the collective? Holy heck, cards are just flying. I love this energy. We're all here. Okay, oh, hello. Big things are coming in the end of 2021. Big things, like, wow. The bottom deck energy is the temple, so your main advice is to rest yourself and look after yourself. Vessel, they're talking about your temple, your vessel. This doesn't mean that, you're expected to be an Olympic athlete who's really like getting all the greens in and you're eating your vegetables and your fruit. And it's not necessarily about that. It's looking at your body as like, what is my body telling me? It's too tired maybe to meal prep all day today. I just want to sleep type of thing. Really listening to what your body is saying. And I feel like mostly it's about slowing down. The focus is more on your heart chakra, which also makes me think of your immune system. The heart chakra is also linked to your immune system. So I don't mean to freak people out because obviously there's a lot going on in the world right now when we look at health, but I do think that we need to take our immune system seriously with this new moon in Gemini. I feel like Gemini's third house sort of association can also make us want to be more social. It could influence us to want to be more active in our social scene, more active in our groups, more active in terms of the people that we're communicating with. So there is just caution here. If you get that pull to be more socially active, just really protect yourself, look after yourself, especially your vessel. And I think on the other side of that with your heart chakra, it's also encouraging you to come from a place of compassion when we look at this new moon in Gemini, because remember, for those who have been here this whole time, the new moon in Gemini is most likely going to bring things to our attention that may not necessarily be 100% true, but we're hyper fixated on it because of this energy. Within a week, that emotion is going to be suppressed. So in terms of that emotion will naturally dissipate. We're not going to feel as heated about this. We're not going to feel as frustrated by this. So I think that they're asking you to approach your situation in the next week with compassion. Even if you feel heated, the best thing you can do is just remove yourself from that situation. Give yourself time to take that breath out and ground yourself as well, so that you're not accidentally doing something that you will regret, if that makes sense. Now, otherwise, we have a lot of exciting cards down here looking at the new moon in Gemini. Your main advice that you need to know is that this energy right now, it's not supposed to have your full attention. You're supposed to almost be in a state of like don't expect anything, if that makes sense. I feel like the less pressure you put on yourself right now, the better, because there is a lot of change coming and it's intended to be positive. It's intended for you to see results, especially on material changes. I feel that many people by the end of 2021 should be in a better position physically. It kind of looks like here that the main advice is to focus on the long term, which makes me think that June may be a bit rocky for a lot of parts of the world in terms of the collective, whether we're going through emotional stresses or our physical, abilities are limited because of what's going on. Spirit's really encouraging us to look at the long term. So the first two cards that came to my attention was the Mountain reversed and the Lover reversed. So that Lover is asking for compassion, but it's also asking for you to put yourself first. Instead of trying to make other people feel good, even though you're running high and you're feeling stressed, just remove yourself from the situation. Say, I can't talk about this now. I need to go home, or I need to just go to bed. I'll talk to you when I feel better. Just remove yourself from the situation. Don't try to feign compassion. If you really can't, don't put that on yourself. You don't owe people that. You do owe that to yourself, though. The Lover is really asking you to put your own needs first during this new moon in Gemini. And the Mountain reversed is encouraging you to look more long term. I feel like a lot of us are going to want to do things. New moon in Gemini, I don't know, it does make you kind of want to be more connected. But I think that with the Mountain here, it's like this internal battle of like, I want to do this, but it doesn't align with my long-term goal. And Spirit's saying that most of us are going to feel that anyway. I kind of feel that there's going to be strains there, though, to do things that are instantly gratifying. So if it's all in alignment with your self-care plan, with your, temple looking after yourself plan, then that's fine. I feel like overall, though, the advice here is to focus on long term for the sake of not being too critical on yourself, basically, for whatever happens in June. Now, also we have the Medallion and the Creator. I do want to talk about these with the King. All of these cards are upright, which gives me that, oh yes, sorry, it is Amazonite. Thank you so much, Alex, for answering that. It is giving me that sort of long-term results energy, but it's also confirming that we don't have to do this blindly. Like, Spirit isn't going to tell us you need to have faith and then give us no signs and then one day we get our results. That tells me that we are going to see certain signs along the way. We are going to be guided towards these things. We're not expected to walk blindly here with the Medallion. Like, we're going to kind of see the object of our desire. This new moon in Gemini is going to illuminate things for us so that we can kind of see how our goal is tangible, so we can get a glimpse of that dream that we've been vying for. And I feel like this is going to offer us inspiration. For many of you, the main advice here, when we're not focusing on resting and looking after our vessel, we're actually being called to create in some way as an outlet, to really just find those moments to express yourself and to get really out of the box with it. Spirit's saying that for some of you, you need to kind of approach it with the intention of, this isn't going to be shown to anybody. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Lily Cat. This isn't going to be shown to anybody. I just want to do this for the sake of, like, it's going to help me. Like, maybe you just want to journal, for example, maybe you just want to let out some of your frustration instead of yelling it at the person that you love. Maybe you just want to write about it. So-and-so made me so mad today when they told me to do the shopping when I'd had a full day of it, and I told them to do the shopping 2 days ago and they didn't. Maybe it's just a form of healthy expression is what Spirit is saying. And I do think that from this healthy expression, this positive outlet, we might actually reach an epiphany moment. Like, for some of you, you'll be blah, 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 word vomit, sort of just purging that energy to another loved one. And there'll be a moment of clarity there. Like, wait a minute, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I needed the answers for. So pay attention here. Give yourself that creative outlet. Give yourself that form of just expressing, so that you're able to get your epiphany moment as well. Because I think that whatever clarity comes to you through that creative expression is intended to be long term. It is intended to elevate your circumstances, and that's why the new moon in Gemini is setting us up for the full moon in Capricorn. Your hard work is paying off. You're not walking blind, I promise. We're going to receive signs. We're going to receive confirmation that we're on the right path before we're expected to commit ourselves to something. But I do think that the king is telling us that whatever we conceive during this period, whatever we create with our mind, during this new moon in Gemini, full moon in Capricorn, it is going to show tangible results. It is going to be successful. It is going to elevate our circumstances with the king here, which I'm very positively geared towards, if I'm honest. Like, I want to watch this video back and I feel like I'm not giving it justice. It's very exciting. I'm just trying to get through the cards, but I just love that. I want to show you this combination again. It's very, very positive. Just have a look at that. The medallion, the creator, and the king. That is beautiful. Now, for those of you who know, or maybe you've recorded, your pattern with full moons, new moons. I have. That's why I was so passionate about doing full moon, new moon readings on YouTube. That's why I got into them, because I started to notice that every full moon I would act a certain way. Even if the sign was different, I would have really strong emotions, or I would have really strong reactions to things that I'm normally very about. And every new moon I was always inspired to create or express, or I would start these random little projects that I would never finish doing. So I started tracking my own energy with full moons, new moons, and I realized that certain cycles happen at different times. And I wanted to share that with you guys and get Spirit's advice in those readings as well. But we do know that during these astrological events, whether they impact us deeply or they might just be minuscule, you might just have difficulty sleeping for one night. They do tend to bring things to the surface that we're usually trying to suppress, or that we're usually trying not to focus on, right? I mean, I always think of a full moon as an opportunity for emotional closure. Is he? That's the most. He sees this little cat loaf. So cute. He'll be up soon, you guys. He climbs all over my back when I sit here. I sit here often. This isn't just I have this beautiful couch, but I prefer sitting on the floor. Anyway, we know that these full moon, new moon energies bring things to the surface. So the last card that I have for the new moon in Gemini reading is the shadow card, which tells me that some uncomfortable things that we had already worked through, that we had already addressed, that we had already acknowledged, are going to be illuminated to us again. Now, this isn't to say, look what you haven't done. It is to highlight, look what you have done. Look what you do know about yourself. Look what you have worked through. Look how far you have come. It could be as simple as, so the one thing that happened for me, which is coming to mind, Spirit's showing it, I had planned to move to Melbourne this past month in May. I planned to change. My whole location is to change of states. For those of you who are in Melbourne, I honestly I send you so much love. Melbourne has basically been in and out of lockdown, one of the only states right now, I think the only state right now in Australia that has been in and out of lockdown for the last month. And for whatever reason, at the time, I considered it to be a big letdown. Like, I can't move. And in hindsight, it was probably a saving grace, because there's a lot more freedoms up here where I live. So I feel like little things and big things like that will be illuminated with this new moon in Gemini. The shadow card is trying to show us what we have done for ourselves, what we have learned for ourselves, and what we have already worked through. So I don't think it's supposed to be triggering. I don't think it's supposed to be like tower moment type of thing, but it is supposed to bring epiphanies. It is supposed to bring things to light. It is supposed to show us truths that we already know, for example. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Shamanka. I really appreciate that. That wasn't necessary, but thank you so much. Now, that is what I'm getting. The last thing that I want to get before we close the new moon in Gemini reading is I want to use this new deck because it is so beautiful. I want to show you guys the box. I haven't used this in any readings yet. I literally opened the packages today. Have a look at that. It is so beautiful. Angels and Ancestors Oracle cards. And I feel like it would be perfect for a reading like today. We're going to be doing that in our friendship pick a group readings as well, but I'll talk about that more when we close this reading. We're going to get closing advice from this Oracle deck. What do the angels and ancestors want us to know about this new moon in Gemini? Can they offer any positive... Hello, beautiful queen. I got the guidebook ups too as well because I haven't read it yet, and you guys know I'm an intuitive reader. 9 times out of 10 I do not read guidebooks, but for a deck like this, I feel like it needs to be respected. I always like to approach things like this with respect anyway, especially if it has to do with angels and ancestors. Can I get any more words of advice or information from this beautiful oracle deck in regards to the new moon in Gem? Have a look at that. That is the only Indigenous Australian card in this deck, and it has come out. Wow, that is so beautiful. I'm gonna get goosebumps. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Wow. Okay, so I'll show you all these cards. We'll start with the bottom deck energy. Have a look at this. We have the Fire Guardian, Ignite Your Passions, as our bottom deck energy. Wow, there's a lot of fire in that card. Underneath that, we have the Lord card, which I feel you guys need to see, because the first card that came out for us was the Lady card. And at the bottom of this beautiful card, it says, enjoy growth and reap rewards. I'll get into it, but I'm getting a lot of positivity from this deck. I feel like this is really an encouragement to us, confirming that our angels and our ancestors and our guides, our spiritual team, full stop, is always there, is always guiding us, is always protecting us. And this card says it all. We have Elder coming out, literal goosebumps. Oh, be moved beyond ancestral patterns. Yes, I feel that. And we have Eagle over here, see from a higher perspective. So you guys, this Fire Guardian as the bottom deck energy is encouraging us to see this as a period of confirmation. It's not supposed to be shocking. It's not supposed to be super transformative to the point where we're gasping for air by the next week. It is supposed to confirm things that we have already worked through, confirmed cycles and patterns that we have already identified, and it is also supposed to confirm new projects that we'd already been kind of thinking about in our subconscious. Maybe we had thoughts about starting new things, but we'd kind of suppress them because life gets busy. You know, before you know it, you're more focused on surviving than thriving. I feel like the Fire Guardian is bringing passion back. Just like this Creator card, we see this as a positive outlet. It in turn becomes our source of inspiration. The Fire Guardian is confirming to us that this period that seems like a detour, because it's highlighting everything that we're not doing right, and it's also telling us to slow down instead of being active. It feels like we're going backwards, but actually this is a major stepping stone towards our long-term results. I've got it, the goosebumps are here. I knew they would be here. So the Lady card is really just confirming that this new moon in Gemini is setting us up for our success. Enjoy growth and reap rewards. It's setting us up for our success. And this Elder card is confirming that whatever we see during this period, new moon in Gemini, it's already a pattern that we have moved beyond. This card says move beyond ancestral patterns. It's already something that we have identified. It's already something that we have worked through. So it isn't supposed to bring crazy change. It's just supposed to confirm things to us. Now we also have Eagle over here, see from a higher perspective. So the Eagle card is really just this energy again. Look at the bigger picture. The confirmation is crazy. Now isn't a time to beat yourself up too much. Now isn't a time to feel super guilty and bad because you're not as far ahead as you thought you would be, and it's June already, and like, what the heck, I thought I would have ticked this box and I thought I would have done that already. It's not about beating yourself up with the full moon in Aquarius reverse. You are allowed to take time to just sort of slow down a little bit and to just figure things out. I think that's mostly what this period is. We're confirming things that we'd already worked through so that we can focus on this new beginning that will be come new, or should I say full moon in Capricorn. So that's beautiful. Oh, I love this deck already. It's already a very favorite deck. I'm just going to quickly, I have the guidebook here. So we'll just see if I missed anything. I'm not going to read all of this because usually these guidebooks, like, they're very lengthy and we have to get into our pick a card portion very soon. So I'm just going to skim, and if anything stands out to me, I will share it. Also, I don't think that this has an index. Oh, thank God it does. Whew, we could have been here for ages. Okay, let's start with our beautiful lady, shall we? 48. Okay. I like the number 48. I don't know why. I'm just seeing 4 times 12. Okay, so I will read you guys the message because that's short and sweet, just 2 sentences. Reap what you have sown and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Grow and expand in all areas of your life. So she's really confirming what the mountain reverse was telling us, longevity over instant gratification. The medallion was telling us that, and the king was telling us that as well. I'll just quickly see if there's anything else. So she's also known as the Empress in this deck, which is everything that we needed, if I'm honest. Just confirming that spark, that fire, you know, that spark of things flourishing with one thing. This seems to be a catalyst coming. I wonder when that will happen. I feel like that August could be a catalyst month for many of us, but that's just an intuitive download. That's not an official thing to write about. Let me see. She manifests, okay. Okay, so you do need to know that the apple is no coincidence. There is a reason why this beautiful lady is holding an apple. If you have a look at the seeds, they form a pentagram, which is sort of linking her to the Empress as well, being that sort of earthy energy. And it's also adding to that idea of longevity, of creation as well. So that's a very positive card of growth and reaping the rewards of your growth as well. Let's move forward to the Elder card now. I don't know if it's on this page or, yes it is, 34. I love how I can just ask a question in these readings and get like instant answers. The intuition is just always, when I do these group readings, my intuition is just like an antenna. Okay, so the Elder card. Okay. I feel like the message isn't necessarily relevant, but there is something in the extended message for us. Yes, I knew it. Okay, I knew it. Oh, I love that. Okay, so are we listening? He is an embodied soul, yet he has had journeys that go beyond the physical. Therefore, he represents a reclamation of power. When he appears, it's an acknowledgement that you have the capacity to move beyond the limitations that have been placed upon you. If you had expectations of success, failure, sadness, or even sickness placed upon you by your family, it's important to know that you are here to create your own story. This card represents personal healing that will bring healing to your family lineage, past, present, and future. Know that you get to decide what you take on, and also that your ancestors are rooting for you and are sorry for any setbacks they have created for you. My heart, you guys. 2020 for me and my family was a year of working through a lot of ancestral patterns because of just like a lot of stuff happens. Excuse me. I was a lot of channeling, so my nose is automatically leaking. I feel like you don't intend for it to happen when it's a bad cycle. You don't intend for it to become a pattern or a learned behavior that is passed down through generations, but it does. Before you know it, you know, there's some really harmful things that you pass on through patterns of behavior. So that's beautiful. I feel like that's confirming this idea of working beyond, you know, these things. We've already worked beyond this. It's confirmation that we are ready. We almost need to see that though with this new moon in Gemini. Okay, so the Eagle card, I think, will be the last. Oh, thank you so much, Beth. Bless. Beth, I messaged you today. Was it today or yesterday? I can't remember. On Patreon. Okay, Eagle, higher perspective. Let us find our beautiful Eagle page. Okay, this, I think I'm going to be up late tonight reading this book. Not going to lie, I never want to read guidebooks, but there's something about this book that's like making me want to. And like, I always had a weird brain in terms of like, I was really good for trivia, but if you force me to study, I won't retain anything. So I always retained random facts of knowledge. Is anybody else like that? Thank you so much. But yeah, so I don't know, it's helpful for tarot. I've retained all this random information. Anyway, talking about the Eagle card, see from a higher perspective. That's what the full moon in Sagittarius was telling us as well. This new moon in Gemini is encouraging us to not react out of our primary emotion. It's encouraging us to separate ourselves, to enforce that self-care barrier and say, I'm very angry. I don't want to say something to you that I'm going to regret, so I'm excusing myself. You won't see me for the rest of the week while I calm down and figure out what's going on. See things from a higher perspective. we're not supposed to be triggered to the point where we're burning bridges in the next week. We're supposed to be focusing on things specifically for a reason, to bring clarity and to illuminate cycles that we've already worked through. So the Eagle card really is saying, look at things from a different angle. I do think that we're going to get the opportunity to be looking at things from the perspective of our loved ones. Like whoever you're spending a lot of time with this week, you might be really strengthening that relationship by having a deep and meaningful conversation with them, or by getting more information on what is going on in their life. It's also saying fly higher and see new possibilities. So I think that this Eagle card is actually saying that this period, or what this deck wants us to know anyway, while we close this new moon in Gemini reading, it wants us to know that this period is definitely setting us up for our new beginnings, and it's definitely setting us up to be able to see things better so that we can commit ourselves confidently to new possibilities. Is there anything else that you want them to know? When the Eagle card appears in a reading, it shows that you have a real ability to take things higher and to move beyond the limitations of your ego and your selfish desires. So that's what the angels and ancestors want us to know. The Eagle is encouraging us to see things higher, or take things higher, and to move beyond the limitations of our ego and our selfish desires. Now, that is where I want to remind you that self-care is not selfish. Selfish is when you do something with the intent of harming others, or when you do something with the intent of, sort of saving yourself while the ship is sinking, when you've caused that ship to sink. If you need to do something because you genuinely need to look after yourself and protect yourself, that's not selfish, that's self-care. That's being concerned about self positively. So I do think that it's more just confirming this period is setting us up for those new beginnings and encouraging us to see things from a higher perspective. So that's the new moon in Gemini collective reading. And we're going to get into the friendship portion now. I'll just tidy this up. Oh, I love this deck so much. Oh, wow. I just went out on a limb here. I was like, I think I need this deck in my life. Amazon, what do you have about the ancestors? What can you offer me? And I found that deck, so very grateful. Okay, let me just shuffle these because we will be reusing them in the friendship reading. I'm really excited to show you guys the tarot deck that is new as well. For those of you who, what's his name? I can't remember it now. I'm terrible. It's inspired by that incredible creator of Pan's Labyrinth, Crimson Peak, The Shape of Water, Guillermo del Toro. Yes, ring a bell? Tarot del Toro. And it was designed by a beautiful soul called Thomas Hiego. Oh my gosh, I'm terrible, you guys. I'm learning Russian, but maybe I need to learn Spanish. This is crazy. But it's a beautiful deck, and I'll get into that next. We'll just tidy this up. If I recommend that, now you grab your snacks, you grab your water, because we're getting into the pick a group portion of this reading. There's a card in here that's flipped. Nothing is yet set in stone. Mutable moon. Isn't that beautiful? I feel like this new moon in Gemini is going to help us finally set some things into stone that we have been wanting to solidify for some time. I'm going to have to smoke the energy again because there's some residual new moon in Gemini energy up in her. Let me just clear the air. Grab your water, grab your wine if it's nighttime. Sorry for those who are experiencing their 8 o'clock start right now. Okay, this isn't really working. You know what? This piece of wood is actually saturated with the water from a pink Himalayan rock salt candle holder. You know how they sweat? Oh my lord, they attract so much water from the air. And here in Cairns, which I talk about this on Instagram, I'm from Cairns, Australia. There is so much humidity in the air naturally. Those holders, they just sweat like nothing. It's crazy. It nearly destroyed a bookshelf that I had. I had to get a little hack. I had to get a potting plant holder, like the tray that you put at the bottom of your plants, your pot plants. I had to get one of those, and I just put it in there, and it just kind of collects water, and I tip it out every so often. I haven't done it in about 2 weeks, so it probably needs emptying that's going to have to do for now. Can you please help me cleanse this energy so that we can start our new reading for the collective? I might have to do that between groups as well, because this is live and there's so many of us. There's a lot of energy and there's a lot of residual energy. So this is an Amazonite crystal as well. Thank you so much to the soul who answered that for me. Just take a quick sip. You have to keep them lit 24 hours. Really? The other side of the island, hi from Perth. I don't miss the dampness, yes. That's the thing about humidity. I think Florida in the US might be similar, and parts of India would be very similar. Hello? Where are you going? Oh, he's had enough. He's excluded himself. All right, so these are the 3 groups. Are you ready? I want you to choose now. There's 4, 18. Okay, with this is going to get a bit tricky because it's time to choose a group. So if you're here, it's really important that you take this time to select a group. This isn't a part of it. We've got Amazonite over here for, we're going to say that that's group 3. So let's start from left to right. We'll do it that way. So selenite over here for group 1. Thailand is humid. Yes, it would be. Absolutely, so close to the equator. Selenite over here is group 1. Amethyst over here is group 2. And for those of you who have just joined or who have joined recently, this is going to be the friendship pick a group portion of today's live stream. And Amazonite is group 3. So those are the 3 groups over here. We are going to be focusing on friendship in this pick a card because it's something that I've never done. And I feel like at this point, the world is craving connection. So the main points, I wrote it down because I knew that we were going to get a lot of messages through for the new moon in Gemini. I didn't want to lose my train of thought. The main questions that we're focusing on in this friendship picker card is how, first of all, how can you repair or work on existing friendships? The second question is how can you attract new connections and friendships? And lastly, we're just going to get any advice from Spirit. We're going to see what our angels and ancestors want to tell us when it comes to friendships in general. Maybe they want to highlight certain things to us during that portion. So there's 3 main areas of each group that we're focusing on: repairing, attracting new, and advice in general. So I might keep this over here just in case. Knowing me, I will go off on tangents, so it's probably best to keep that close. Okay. All right, so those are the 3 groups. Group 1, selenite. Group 2, amethyst. Group 3, amazonite. So I'm going to put those over there. We'll start with the selenite first. So group 1, let's see what Spirit wants to say for you guys. So for those who chose selenite, we are looking at your repairing first. Actually, you know what? You need some cards from here first. We're going to get this and then we'll start using that new tarot deck, but we need some quick general look at what you need to know about repairing your existing connections. What does group 1 selenite group need to know about repairing their existing connections? What does group 1? Oh, hello. I'm just going to write down 5230 as well, because that's technically the start of group 1's reading. Excuse me, hello. Do you know we're live at the moment? So you had 3 cards come out. First of all, we have the temple over here reversed. We have the forest, no. We have the forest upright. What are you doing? Do you want to sit up here? Oh, he just drank some water. He always likes cuddles after he consumes. We have the worm over here as well. So this is beautiful. I feel a very organic feeling from you guys. You seem to be very maternal or very wanting to cultivate things when it comes to friendships, looking at the long term or how you can keep things fresh in your connections. I feel like group 1, you guys would have some very long-term connections that almost feel like family. I think that the temple reverse, though, is encouraging you to separate that. I'm hearing family is even toxic. So I think that there's an interesting message here with the temple. It's this energy of just because something has a certain title associated to it doesn't mean it doesn't at times require us to have boundaries, if that makes sense. I feel like whatever you're going through, though, with a long-term friendship, it is temporary. You need to know that. This isn't time to cut things short, but it is time to put yourself first with the temple here. regular Thursday night. He has no idea that people are watching it. Now is not the time to take things too personally. I feel like these relationships are under stress in ways that you're not responsible for, in terms of like people are acting out, or you're seeing behavior that may be a product of things that they need to fix as individuals. So I think that the temple is encouraging us to take this time of separation, or this time of less engagement, as an opportunity to connect more with self, to not try to take it too personally though, because I see the forest as a positive sign, group one. The friendships that you have in your life are meant to last a long time. I think that the circumstances that you're in seem to be very uncharacteristic, and I want to say subjective. Like in 5 years time, it's going to feel like nothing. But it's something that has to happen for that individual, for that person. You're not responsible here. I think that you do need to focus more on yourself. And I think, yes, thank you, platypus friend. I am. Just really quickly, they just asked if I'm mob. My family's from Saibai Island, so I'm technically a Torres Strait Islander. I have blood in Western Australia, but my grandma was a part of the stolen generation, so she never knew who her family was. So I was raised in Cairns. I have strong connections to the land here, but I don't claim it because it's not really right. So I claim mob from Torres Strait, Saibai Island, Kalaukaua. Isn't that right, Kirk? So I do see that, yeah, your friendships, honestly, they do need to be repaired, but it's not your responsibility, group one. It's not your responsibility. I think with the temple reverse, time now is to really just focus on yourself, not take this period personally. If it isn't something that's going to withstand the test of time, then it's because of that individual's undoing. I honestly see that you have a solid group around you that is supposed to withstand the test of time. And the womb over here, group one, the womb is telling me that in this period of separation from long-term friendships, you are going to be cultivating new friendships as well. And these friendships will bring new flavor into your world, including enriching new hobbies and interests, and things that are supposed to cultivate different aspects of your personality that these older connections weren't able to do in this period. I feel like some of these connections may be different, like they may be completely separate from your existing group. Maybe you meet under different circumstances, it could be online, but I feel like you're going to meet them in a way where they almost stay separate from this other friend group. So that is what the oracle cards are telling us, group one. Let's quickly get some tarot as well. What is going on over here? Okay. Are you okay down there? Oh. All right. These beautiful tarot cards. Are you ready? Oh, they're so gorgeous. I just love them too. Look at the backs of these cards. Oh, okay. Oh no, Kirk, fetch. There's a card that's just landed behind the camera, so excuse me for a second. That's the thing about doing things live. Hey, these things just happen. I'll be back in a second. Oh, it was the Two of Swords too. Goodness, Gemini still active over here. All right, are you okay down there? Okay. Is there anything else tarot can tell us for group one's existing connections, or should we move on to attracting new connections? I feel like they're encouraging you to focus on new connections, group one, but I'll see if tarot wants to tell us anything else. Is there anything else they need to know about repairing existing connections? The Ten of Swords, yes, don't take it personally. I do think that in this period you are going to be separated from people that you've known for a long time. The Ten of Swords is telling me that it's going to feel like betrayal. It's going to feel like you're letting people down, or like people are letting you down, but I do think that this tough cycle isn't supposed to be something that you carry personally. I think that it's encouraging you to start new things. So they do want us to talk about new connections instead of focusing on the strain of your existing connections, because I feel like you're at a point where you need that optimism. Group one, please, Spirit, what can you tell them about their new friendships? How can group one attract new friendships? Wow. Oh my gosh, you got a lot of swords cards. We have the Three of Swords and the Four of Swords over here coming out first. And we also have the Knight of Swords, Knight of Blades in this deck. So group one, you need to know that whatever you're going through currently with friends, whether it's been like really difficult for you to make new friends or it's been really difficult for you to stay connected with old friends, this is trying to encourage you to grow. I feel like your friend situation is expanding, but I feel like in order to do that, you almost need to... It's interesting. They're saying put yourself out there, but the Four of Swords is telling me don't put yourself out there. So I'm going to have to clarify. What do you want them to do, Spirit, with the Four of Swords? I feel like you are attracting new relationships, new connections, new friendships. And this is happening quickly with the Knight of Blades. But the Four of Swords is saying there's inaction here on your part. How are they meeting these new people, Spirit? What are they supposed to be doing? Oh. 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 Wow. What, wow, you guys got 3 aces. The bottom deck energy is the Ace of Blades, so you're going to have a lot of new friends. This is interesting, though. I don't think you're trying. I don't think that you're trying to do it with the Hermit and the Four of Swords. You're not trying to do anything. You're just trying to chill out and not focus on friendships. You guys don't seem to be wanting friendships in terms of like the drama of friendships. You guys don't seem to want the messiness of having to start new friendships, and yet you're attracting a lot of people. We also have the Ace of Wands over here. We have the Ace of Discs over here reversed, and we have the Tower card as well as the Sun card reversed. Wow. So first of all, you are going to be meeting new people. I think that this period is overall distracting you from those existing connections that may not be very strong at the moment. I think that the Sun reversed is indicating a pessimistic attitude here, like we don't really want to be that emotionally connected to people who, when we are struggling ourselves. And yet this seems to be happening for you. It's like Spirit's going, no, you need someone to talk to. You need someone to help you with what you're going through. You guys seem so adamant on doing this alone, group one. You guys seem so adamant on like, I want people to support me, but I want to skip the messiness of having to get to know them. I just want to attract someone who is able to like vibe with me. It's like when you have those early stages of friendship and you don't know if this person likes the same TV shows as you or listens to the same music as you, or whether they're the kind of person who wants to talk all the time or if they're just happy to sit and vibe in silence, you know? You don't want to have to know all of that. You just want someone who gets you. And I think that in order to have that, you kind of need to attract a lot towards you, and then you get to decide. I think that with the Sun card reversed, you don't seem to want to have to do this, but with the Tower, I'm sorry, group one, you don't really have a choice. You need connection right now. Spirit is encouraging you to have connection right now. The Tower is really encouraging you to roll with these changes because they're happening for you and they're happening fast. I think that the Ace of Wands tells me you could be meeting someone through a creative way. It could also be exercise for some of you. Maybe you exercise for expression, you know, just to let out frustration or anger, or maybe you just want to get out of the house and that's the only way you can do it is if you're exercising. I feel like you meet these people without even trying, and they're opportunities. That's why the aces are here. I don't think that many of you are going to cultivate it into strong friendships though. I think Spirit is telling us in this portion of your reading, how can you attract new relationships? Well, the truth is you have so many opportunities coming, but I don't think that you're going to want to foster them into long-term connections because I don't think that you're able to invest that. You're not able to see that in yourself. Like you kind of don't want to have to get to know someone like that. You just want someone who gets you. You don't want to have to sort of bait them and figure out how they vibe, whether there's someone who can sit in silence or chat till 6 in the morning, you know? So that's interesting. Let's try to get some advice because I do think that you're attracting, Spirit's saying your advice, the Sun card, your advice is that you're responsible for your own happiness, you guys. If you're not happy, it's not that you don't have the opportunity, it's that we're not paying attention to the opportunity that we have. Spirit is giving you at least 3 new friends. 3 new friends. One of them is a flat out no because they either know too much about your history or you're just not comfortable with the amount of work that'll go into that friendship. This could be someone who has a lot of baggage. This could be someone that knows your siblings too well. This could be someone that knows your parents too well and you just don't want to spend too much time with them. This person is just like a flat out no, but they're very keen on us. And then the Ace of Swords at the bottom deck, the Ace of Blades, this is someone who seems to be the only one that we might want to talk to because they're emotionally removed. They seem to be someone who would be more available over text or message, but they're inconsistent with their communication is what I feel. I feel like this is the kind of person who we message them first thing in the morning and they get back to us at like 10 o'clock at night when our phone's on do not disturb mode, you know? And we wake up to the message like, what? Why did they message me back now? I'm guilty of that. We also have the Ace of Wands here, so I think that this is the one that is going to be the most positive for you, if I'm honest, because the Ace of Wands tells me that it's a form of expression. This is a passion as well, like the two of you share interests. And I also think that this is the one that feels more organic. You're not having to put a lot of energy and effort into this. It just feels like you're just going to your gym class, or you're just going to the post office to pick up your mail, you know, and you do that once a week, every week, or you're just going to your regular shop to pick up your milk for the week or for the day, however often you buy milk, and this person's there and you just organically start conversation. I think that this Ace of Wands person is going to be the one that you actually has the running in terms of your new friendships. But at the same time, group one, your happiness is in your power. If you want this friendship, it's about you cultivating it for yourself and not limiting your opportunities. Spirit is giving you 3 opportunities from friendship. One of them is a hard no, one of them is a maybe because they're inconsistent and flaky, and the other one is someone that we don't even need to really try, except to maybe make things more official by like actually inviting them over to our house or actually inviting them to dinner with us, etc. So let's see what other advice Spirit can offer us. We'll get some oracle cards. I'm going to move this pen away because that's dangerous. Accidentally scribbles all over my oracle decks. What are you doing? He's very possessive, so he thinks someone's here because I'm talking to myself so much, so he's like trying to put himself between us. He does that with everyone. Very possessive. We have a very interesting relationship, if you haven't guessed already. All right, let us get some advice for you. Group one, we're about to wrap up your reading. What else do they need to know? What advice do you have for them, Spirit, when it comes to friendships? Ooh. Have a look at my candle right now. It's really bright. It's very, very bright. Almost looks like it has 2 flames. That's wild. That's only got like that much left. It shouldn't be. It must be a lot of wick. All right. You guys, yeah, you guys have a lot coming towards you. I just don't know if you're going to want it. We have the presence of love will always cast out fear. That is your main advice from this beautiful deck. Your bottom deck energy is the moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. I do think that because our current friendships, our existing friendships are under so much strain, Group 1, Selenite group, you're going to be very hesitant to open yourself up to new friends. It feels like a wasted opportunity. It feels like you're just going to have to invest all this time into someone, and at the end of the day, like maybe there'll be someone that you invite to your birthday. It's like, for you, it doesn't seem to be a payoff, but the truth is you need connection right now. Spirit knows that. Spirit's sending you 3 people for you to connect with, and I mean connect with. These aren't just randoms who ask you if the toilet paper's in aisle 4. These are people who are going to want to invest more time and energy into you, and it's up to you to decide whether you want to realign with love and take this opportunity, or whether you are going to continue to stay in your own little zone here. This card says the presence of love will always cast out fear. Let's see what the ancestors have to tell us too, because I love this deck so much. Okay, is there any cards from this deck that may offer advice or information for group 1 when it comes to their friendships? Ooh, hello. Oh my gosh. This is a this is a very profound energy. I feel like I'm looking at a real person. Stargazer over here. There's so much depth in that drawing. Does anybody else see those eyes? Seem so realistic. I think it's because the nose, like this part of the face, is so light. It's I don't know. Maybe I'm just tripping, but holy heck. That's crazy, Stargazer. Anyway, this card says, set your sights higher. So the angels, ancestors, our spiritual team, let's just say that because there's a lot of energy here. Our spiritual team, group 1, they want us to focus on the fact that we don't need to limit ourselves. We don't need to confine ourselves to pre-existing relationships. The nature of life is to experience. We're here as spirits having human experiences, and part of that is connection. I would argue that that is the most valuable part of this experience, connection, ensuring that we feel supported enough to continue this journey forward. As individual and introverted as we may like to think that we are, we naturally crave connection, and sometimes we don't know how much we need it until we have it again and we realize how much we've been missing. So Spirit wants you to know that when it comes to your connections, your spiritual team wants you to set your sights higher. When it comes to friendships, set your sights higher. Some of you guys are settling for friendships that are barely giving you what you need. Your bottom deck energy in this deck was Dream and Journey, the drum. So this is a very interesting card. I think this is a tools card in this deck. Let me just grab that guidebook real quick. Drum. Warrior symbols. Oh wow, this is a warrior symbol card, drum. For those who don't know, this is a new deck, so I am going to be flicking through the guidebook every now and then. I feel like there's a message in here for you guys. When the drum card appears in a reading, there are opportunities for you. There are opportunities for you to dream or bring an inner vision into reality. So potentially you guys are the kind who like dream about creating cool memories with people. You're the group that dreams about having, you know, that awesome night out with people where you do stay out late and you're able to watch the stars or see the sunrise together. Maybe you guys are that dreamer, and yet the reality is, you know, we're being very introverted and confined and closed off. So the drum card is saying that you have the opportunity to bring this inner vision into reality, and it's confirming that you do have opportunities coming your way, group one. So that has been your friendship reading, group one. We're going to move over to group two now, which is the amethyst crystal. Let me just peck this up real quick, and I strongly encourage that you guys get hydrated if you haven't been. I'm going to. Excuse me, you're not supposed to be there. There we go. Oh, this is from this deck. Okay. I have all the decks linked in the description box as well. I made sure, and hopefully it saved itself. I'll double check at the end of this reading, but I tried to fill out that section before we started so that it was one less thing for me to have to do at the end of this reading. It's getting empty. I might have to refill it soon. Okay. Group two, real quick. We are, wow, that was a quick reading. It was only 20 minutes. We are at a minute, excuse me. It's only been a minute. We're at an hour and 12 minutes, and I'll just say 30 seconds. That's when group two's reading will be starting. So for those who chose the amethyst, sorry, I'm reading the chat as well. 50 minutes in the pic, yeah. Oh, okay. Wow, thank you. Amethyst, group two, your reading is starting now. I do want to do what I did for group one for you in terms of we're going to get wild archetype cards first, because I think that just brings us a lot of clarity. So the three questions for those who are just joining us now that we're asking in today's reading is: one, how can you repair your existing friendships? Two, how can you attract new friendships? And three, what advice do you need to know when it comes to friendships? Because it's been a long, hard, I can't believe it's already been over a year since we were almost all forced to separate from each other and be very suspicious of the people around us, you know. I still don't like to leave the house if I've got hay fever, because it's just awkward having to apologize for sneezing. I feel like bodily fluids, I don't know, maybe this is something we all were supposed to be conscious of, but it's definitely an interesting reality that we live in now. Now, I'm sorry, I know I said I was going to use that deck, but I'm actually being told to go straight into tarot, so we're going to do that instead. All right, group two, please, Spirit. Let's get rid of the selenite for a second. For those who chose the amethyst crystal, what do they need to know about their existing friendships? Oh, hello. We have the star card coming out reversed. Ooh. Oh, yes, it's still reversed. It just flipped itself. Group two, please, Spirit. Oh, we have the Nine of Cups. And it's reversed. Oh my gosh, we have the Nine of Cups reversed now. What is going on with group two's existing connection, Spirit? Oh. I think that this is something that all of us are going through, but you guys seem to be struggling to keep up to date with what your friends are going through, and vice versa. It seems to be hard to keep that constant communication going. I feel like you guys have been through some big changes, that have been positive and less positive, and you potentially haven't been able to share this with your friends. It feels like you've had to go through a lot of healing by yourself, and that you've had to really confront some difficult emotions by yourself as well, without connecting with the people who you would consider friends. Now, before I jump to too many conclusions, we also have the World card here, and we have the Ten of Wands. Bless. Group 2, y'all, I just want to hug you and give you some of my wine, because I can tell that this isn't going to be, you're here for a reason, let's just say that. I don't want to accept that yet, but they do want you to see the Eight of Pentacles here as your bottom deck energy. It's a sign to not give up, which seems to be the general consensus when it comes to friendships. In terms of your existing friendships, group 2, I do think that Spirit is indicating a lack of flow, if that makes sense. That's how I would describe it. I feel like you've been going through things that maybe your nearest and dearest don't truly know about, especially if we're talking about emotions. I do think with the Nine of Cups reversed, either we're having to be emotional support for them without fully disclosing what we're going through, or we're just not opening up to them, or they're not opening up to us. There's kind of like a one-way thing here, and when it tries to come back, there's a stoppage. It's like a one-way stream of emotion. We're either being emotionally overloaded with other people's problems, or the other person just isn't asking us enough. Like our friends just aren't checking in on us enough. That's what it feels like. And I don't think this is just a perception. I don't think this is just you trying to play victim. I think it's very genuine. I've got to be honest with you. With the Star reversed, it's very genuine. It's genuinely not going both ways. It feels like you're the one fixing everybody else's problems. And with the Ten of Wands here, reversed, it is reversed. Okay, thank God. Thank God. I do think that this is something that you're aware of with it being reversed, but I think that it is something that we struggle to consistently mediate, if that makes sense. Like, I think that you're a very, very, very good friend. The Aquarius is no joke. Like, I think of Aquarius people as very good friends. I just think that with the Ten of Wands, we may struggle to have healthy boundaries here. And it gets to the point where we're the ones that are being overworked and overloaded. And it gets to the point where we're not being seen or heard enough in our friendships. We're the ones who are making soup for people when they're sick, but when we're sick, nobody's there for us. That's what it feels like, group 2. Your existing connections have a one-way street situation going on, and either it's because you're just not opening up enough, or they're not actually checking in with you enough either. I do think that this is a quick fix with the Ten of Wands being here. It's just about being consistent with that fix, though. It's not a sort of, drink this and it'll cure you for the rest of your life situation. It's about being consistent with those barriers and boundaries as well, like consistently being aware of when that stoppage is up, so we can let it down and let it flow both ways again, so that we can call people out and say, hey, how come every time I see you, you just tell me all your problems? Like, I'm here to check in with you. Check in with me too, please. Especially if they're close friends, like, call them out. Call them out and tell them, like, every time I see you, you just yell about your mother and your brother and your partner and your children, and I always hear about your damn cat, Kirk. Listen to me for once. Like, I feel like that's what you need to say if it's that serious, and I think that it is with the Star card here. Even though it's reversed, I think that it is supposed to be healing for you. I think that your existing friendships, there's a reason why you're in this situation. With the Eight of Pentacles, Spirit doesn't want you to give up. Spirit wants you to see this as a test, a temporary little challenge, a little blip. And long term, these are supposed to be very healing connections that have a strong grounding effect for you. I think that whatever changes you've been through, you may be in a very nostalgic state lately, not really knowing here nor there sort of whether to move forward or whether to keep yourself glued to the past. And I think that there's a reason why you guys might be thinking about your past a lot too, because there are answers back there that are supposed to help you be more present as well. And this is about, excuse me. Okay, what do you want to say about friends? Are you a good friend? He just licked his lips. We have the World card here as well. So I do want to talk about the World card. It's kind of confirming what the Eight of Pentacles is saying, group 2. When it comes to friendships that are existing for you guys, these are friendships that have been in your life for years, might I add. These aren't people that you met last week that I'm talking about. These are friendships that have been in your life for years. I do think that there is going to be an opportunity to actually come together in a positive way and celebrate your friendship with these people. I don't think that it's all bad. I think that these connections are supposed to be healing. It just needs to be more balanced, that's all. And I do think that the World card is recognizing a strong connection here of sort of being able to start a new leaf with these people as well that have already been a part of our life for years and years and years and years. So it's not all bad. It's not as bad as we thought it was, but it is addressing that elephant in the room, which is that one-way valve. We need to get that stoppage out of there and make sure that that valve is going both ways. So real quick, let us just see if Spirit has any advice on repairing those existing connections first. We're going to use the Wild Unknown Oracle deck, because I do think that these are meaningful people. These are people who are almost considered family. Group 2, please, Spirit. Is there anything else you would want them to know about repairing their existing friendships? You do have a new beginning coming, absolutely. And these connections are highlighting parts of your world that need addressing. I do want to talk about these as connections because they're not just they're not just friendships, group 2. The whole purpose behind these connections is that they are supposed to be sustained and they are supposed to help you heal. You're not supposed to isolate yourself, even though that's what's happened here. Even though you are the one who feels like you're not getting to heal, you're just the one helping everybody else heal. Your bottom deck energy is the kiss, so I do see these connections as being very intimate, very close. I do see an opportunity here to open up and get a little bit more intimate, though, if I'm honest with you. Spirit's advice is to get more intimate with these existing friends and to really open up about what's going on. And I feel like this is about one person in particular for you, group 2. This isn't about going through your whole Facebook friends list and messaging people that you haven't spoken to in years, even though you went to high school together. This is about a really close friend, someone who you are struggling to maintain that connection with. They need to know what's on your mind because they will support you. They will be able to help you, and I see the opportunity to let some of this feeling out in a very healing way. This card is the tear card. If I can show it to you without all that glare. There's a lot of glare on there. Very positive. So the 3 main cards that came out for you was the Sustainer card, Gnosis coming out here, and the Healer card. So that's confirming a lot of what we saw in tarot. Healer card's reversed because you seem to be the one that's doing all the healing. It's time to reverse that, open up, get a bit more vulnerable with those existing friendships. And the Sustainer is confirming that these are connections that are supposed to be sustained. Gnosis is indicating an opportunity for something to be let out, like a truth, and also an opportunity for this truth to have a new beginning, like to bring a new beginning for us, an awakening moment, a new beginning. No, sir, you're fine. Who's your best friend, Kirk? Since you want to interrupt group 2's reading. Who's your best friend? He's coming back. He's like, you, excuse me? All right, let's talk about new now. How can you attract new connections? Spirit wants to give you some cards from this deck. That's interesting. How can group 2 attract new connections, Spirit? How can group 2 attract new friendships? How can group 2 attract new friendships? Oh, hello. What's going on with this deck? It's very volatile. Oh, one more card, please. Thank you. Oh, bless. Your bottom deck energy is, I'm unapologetic about what I desire and trust that what I focus on will grow. So listen, I gotta be honest with you. Yes, you're welcome to get new friends. You're welcome to attract new people. You're a very beautiful, precious soul. You're a great friend, group 2. Anybody would be lucky to call you friend. Anybody would be lucky to know you. But Spirit's saying don't give up on your existing friendships. You have at least one solid friend here who deserves a bit more time. and who deserves to know what you're going through, who deserves you offloading onto them for once. They deserve you to give more to the connection in terms of not take on more, like you just give. You just go over there and blah, 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 blah. I've had a terrible day. It's been horrible. This is not my month. This is not my week. This is not my year. That Friends song, if it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year, good. Anyway, the first card that came out for you was, when I think I've surrendered, I surrender more. So I do feel like you might be going through a rough patch with a close friend, you guys. And we also have, like, the advice here when it's time to start new connections is to, when I think I've surrendered, I surrender more. I don't think they really want you to let go of something that you already have. I think that you are someone who maybe you have a lot of people who consider you a friend, but you're like, that's just somebody I know. Like, that's just somebody I work with. I think you'd be surprised how many people actually call you a friend, group 2. You seem to have a lot of people around you. When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. So when it comes to attracting new connections, I ironically think that your existing connections will lead to new friendships. I think that that is what Spirit is implying. Let's get some tarot though, because tarot can be a lot more specific than that deck, than that oracle card. But Spirit did want you to know that trust that what you focus on will grow. Spirit, what does group 2 need to know about attracting new friends? How can group 2 attract new friends, positive connections? My gosh, this card is loving us tonight. The 3 of Swords, group 2. Why? Why is the 3 of Swords here, Spirit? No. We want to know about new people. The King of Discs. Spirit saying, don't give up on what you currently have. Can we please get any information about new friends? Do you guys want new friends, or do you just want to focus on the connections that you have? I do see a rebirth here. They're talking about resurrecting something that you already have, you guys. Judgment and the Ace of Wands. Resurrection, rebirth. I think that ironically, when you think you've lost a friend is when you will actually rebirth a friendship. Just when you think a friendship has come to the end with the 3 of Swords, you almost have to grieve them, or like it's like a heartbreak moment. It's a serious conversation, a difficult conversation that actually offers your friendship to grow. You opening up and communicating about what's on your heart, about what has been impacting this connection and stopping your friendship from growing with the King of Discs reverse. That's the King of Pentacles. That's like loyalty and commitment that's being questioned. When you have that difficult conversation is when you'll be offered a resurrection here with the Judgment card. Not only will the truth be revealed, but it will also offer a rebirth here with the Ace of Wands. I do think that you have a new opportunity in friendship, but I'm going to be honest with you, there's something very familiar about this person. They seem to be an existing friend. They seem to be someone who needs to know about what we're going through in order for them to value what we currently have with them, in order for them to actually see how good of a friend you are and how much you actually give and how they've been lacking. Like, hey, I just haven't been receiving the support that I need. I haven't been receiving the commitment and loyalty from you that I offer you. Like, I'm always there for you. If you need anything, if your kids need anything, if your family needs anything, I'm there. I think that it's going to be that kind of situation. You might have these difficult conversations. I need to push more though, because technically that wasn't the question, was it? Technically, we want to know how you can attract new people. I'm going to try to push more. I'm going to try to get answers. There's only so many cards in this deck that can talk about your past. If the 6 of Cups comes out reversed, truly honest, I will just be like, okay, we can't focus on new friendships. I'm sorry. Spirit wants you to focus on old. Or the Death card, maybe. If the Death card or the 6 of Cups comes out reversed, then clearly Spirit doesn't want you to look at new friendships. But otherwise, we're going to push forward just in case. Group 1, please. Excuse me. Group 2, Amethyst. How can they attract new friendships? How can Group 2 attract new friendships? I was like, it's this Death card. No, it's the Sun card reversed. So they're saying that, listen, the main way that you attract is through your energy with the Sun reversed. I think that the Sun card reversed is almost encouraging you to spice things up a little bit. I see that as pessimism, I've got to be honest with you, but it's almost saying get out of the comfort zone. Oh, well, isn't that obvious though? Is there any other way that you can tell group 2? How can they attract? It's the 6 of Cups. Is it reversed? It's reversed. The 6 of Cups reversed. Oh my days. I'm so sorry, group 2. You have a solid friendship with somebody who needs to be a part of your future, apparently. They just need to know more about what's going on with you. They need to know that you're questioning their loyalty. They need to know. Oh, I thought that was the Death card. It's the Hermit card reverse. They need to know what you've been going through. They need you to open up to them. With the Hermit reverse, you need to tell them what's been on your mind. You need to tell them what you've been going through and not taking this as an introverted journey of being alone. You need to connect with this person because they don't know, apparently. With the 7 of Cups reverse, this person's actually very confused. This friend is kind of like, hey, what's going on with Amethyst? How come Amethyst hasn't connected with me lately? I've been feeling Amethyst pulling away. What's going on with Amethyst? I feel like we need to kind of get out of our heads here with the Sun reversed and really just have this conversation. I'm sorry. I tried. You have one solid friend here, group 2, that really needs your attention, and it's time for you to be the one who calls on their support with your healing. It's time for you to open up and let your energy out. Oh my god, that's crazy. Your bottom deck energy is the 2 of Swords, speaking your mind, also trusting yourself. You know what kind of friendship this is. If you just need to give yourself more time to figure out what you want to say, maybe you need to give yourself more time to figure out what to do next. Maybe it's not appropriate, like maybe the only way you can talk to this close friend of yours is online, and you don't want to do that. You would rather just sit down and see them. The 2 of Swords, is it reversed? It's upright. So it's encouraging you to trust your intuition. I do think that this friendship is solid though, and if this isn't resonating, maybe you have messages in group 3 or group 1, but I do think that they want you to look at this as a long-term thing, and the best way that we can strengthen what you already have is by keeping that communication open and really honestly and openly letting them know what you're going through, so that you're not the one trying to heal everybody else. You need some help too, you need some healing too, you need some connection, some support as well. And granted, I do think that you're very independent. I do think that you're very self-sufficient, but I think that just this one conversation could make all the difference here in this friendship. So I'm sorry, I tried, but there was only 1 of 2 cards in this deck that would have forced me to keep looking at your past, and it came out, so I had to address that. That's crazy. Let us get that closing advice for you, and then we'll move on to group 3. Let us get that closing advice. We'll get, okay. There's some more messages in here for you for this advice, but I do want to get more from that Ancestors deck as well. But we'll get some more messages from here. What other advice do you have for Amethyst, group number 2, when it comes to their friendship spirit? Oh, we have, yeah, these 2 cards again. Yeah, we have the Hermit card reversed again. We have the 6 of Cups, excuse me, that's the 4 of Cups, Lorraine. That's the 4 of Cups. It is reversed, so taking advantage of the opportunities that are right in front of you, paying attention to the information you already know to be true, not isolating yourself like a crazy cat lady. Yeah, coming out of that cave with the Hermit reverse, not isolating yourself. You don't have to be alone, group 2. You don't have to be. And I also am seeing the Lovers card here reversed, which is asking for you to make a decision with a clear mind. So don't force this decision to happen. If you're not happy with the circumstances, if you're still feeling hurt or betrayed, don't communicate from that place, right? Give yourself time to come from a more tempered place. With Temperance as your bottom deck energy reversed, it comes in 3s. There we go. Okay, so with with Temperance reversed, Spirit is saying that reconciliation is worth it with this friend, but I do think that the point of this is not pride, right? The point of it is to not say, well, who can yell the loudest? Who has the most shit going on, basically? It's not about, well, who needs the most support? It's about coming together when you feel the right time is, not forcing this to happen just because you are such a good friend and you do need support and this person owes you a favor, but you don't want to make them feel like they owe you a favor and that's the only reason they're helping you, right? You want genuine support, you want genuine connection, you want someone who's there for you because they genuinely want to be there for you. So I see that your advice is to not isolate yourself and definitely communicate what you've been thinking about and what you know to be true, to take advantage of the opportunities that are in front of you, and to do this when you know it is right. With the Lovers card reversed, it is kind of saying that the choice is yours. They're also saying don't be selfish. So, okay. Don't keep it to yourself. Sorry, not don't be selfish. Don't keep it to yourself with the Lovers card reversed. That's beautiful. That makes a lot more sense. Don't keep it to yourself. Speak it with the Lovers card reversed. And Temperance is saying don't disregard reconciliation either. Give yourself that space for them to come back. Seems to be your message. Okay, group 2, what a journey. I'm so sorry, group 2, but that's the message that's come through for you. You are an amazing friend, and anybody would be lucky to have you, but you already have a solid person in your life who does deserve you and who does need you. Welcome to those who just joined. We are doing our pick a card friendship reading portion of the video. I've just done group 1 and group 2, and we're about to start group 3. Group 3 is the Amazonite crystal. So really quickly, I'm going to have some water and then I will refill my wine for this last group. Kirk's just sitting in the corner like this, just staring at me like, how dare you? It's not time for your treat, sir. For those who don't know, I did say this already in this video, but I changed Kirk's treat time. He gets treats before bed now so that he doesn't wake the whole street up at 6 in the morning. The whole street's able to have their peace until 8 in the morning now. And then he wreaks havoc on the whole of Cairns. Excuse me, why do you have to be right there? Sorry, I'm just refilling my wine. I wasn't joking when I said this was going to be a let's drink wine and talk about friendship reading. I don't think I'll need that much though. We'll see how we go. I don't want it to be that kind of video. Okay, I'm not going to drink that yet though. That water is needed. All right, so group 3, for those who chose the Amazonite, let us talk about friendship. We're going to be covering 3 different questions in your reading. Just saying this to those, cheers. Just saying this to those who have just joined us in case you feel called towards the Amazonite. The 3 questions that we're covering in your reading is how can you repair existing connections? For those who don't know too, I'm referring to my journal over here with all the questions in it. How can you repair existing connections? How can you attract new friendship connections? And what advice does Spirit have for you when it comes to your friendships in general? So it's been a bit of a ride, hasn't it, you guys? Group 1 and group 2 were very different. Wasn't expecting that. Let's start with these cards. We'll talk about existing connections first for group 3. Are you a grumpy bum? Are you not getting enough attention? Gosh, so grumpy all the time. Okay, group 3, please, Spirit. Group 3, please, Spirit. What do they need to know about repairing existing connections when it comes to their friendships? Oh, I'm hearing crowded house. Don't dream it's over. Okay, what's going on here? We have the Self over here reversed. Oh. We have the One. This is such a beautiful card. The One, the Cave was reversed. Are you guys doing the Hermit thing too? Isolating yourself? If it's for health reasons, this is probably the one time that I would encourage it. But, geez. That was the Prayer card. Oh, and we also have the Vision card, which was blessed by Kirk's back fur. So your bottom deck energy is the Vow. Wow, okay. You have a very significant friendship in your world as well. Does this mean that you have to limit yourself and not allow yourself to have new friends? No, group 3. But it does mean that you definitely have at least one friendship that is worth cultivating further. I see with the Vow here that you have a solid ride or die friend here who will most likely be the best person at your wedding, like if you get married, you know? I see with the Vow here that you have a very strong friendship in your life already, Amazonite crew, but with the vision reversed, maybe we just don't know what the future holds. Maybe we have got distance between us. Maybe we're not sure if what is happening right now is able to sustain this friendship in future. With the vision reversed, we don't seem to be able to see where this is going anymore. We don't seem to be able to see the stability or the certainty in this friendship anymore. Gosh, we can do a reading on that though, Mon. Let's see when all of this global stuff will settle down. I did address that in my last Instagram reading, and it wasn't good, but we'll talk about it again based on the current energy. Hopefully something's changed. Now, group 3, I see with the prayer here upright, you could barely see that, sorry. I see with the prayer here upright, these cards are very highly saturated by that LED light. But the prayer is telling us, don't give up. I'm literally hearing the crowded house, don't dream it's over. The prayer card is asking for you to not give up. You do have a solid friend here who is technically the one for you. There's someone who you're going to spend a lot of your life with. And with the self reverse, there's someone who brings out your best qualities. I feel like this is someone who encourages you to grow. And I feel like the question is, have you grown away from this person? In terms of how you can repair this existing connection, let's actually get some tarot to figure that out. Because what's the issue, Spirit? Why is this connection suffering? Because you don't see the stability in the future, or the certainty in the future, I guess. Yeah, the river, things are changing. I feel like some of you guys think that you're outgrowing this person. The shapeshifter card's coming out as well. Things are changing. Your circumstances may have changed. You could have physically moved, but there's definitely movement with the river card, and the shapeshifter is saying that things have been changing for some time. Because the shapeshifter card is reversed, I feel like this has been happening for a little while now. With the seed, we almost feel like this friendship is holding us back for some of you. You feel like this friendship is stunting your growth rather than helping you grow, which was the opposite of what they told us before. For some of you, you guys are the mentor to this person. You're someone who offers them a lot of wisdom. They're showing me the mentor and the crone over here. So, and the mask is here now. So you're having that same issue as group 2, where you're kind of taking on other people's crap and not really being able to show the colors that you have to offer as well, to show the ocean of emotion that you're withholding as well. Gosh, okay, let's get tarot. It's time for tarot. How can group 3 repair existing friendships? How can group 3 repair existing... Oh, you know what card they showed me? The 2 of Wands. So, I'm hearing don't repair, grow. Don't go, grow. Okay, don't go, grow. Why are we rhyming? Whose guide's a lyricist out here? Don't go, grow. Okay. Group 3. What is the advice on how they can repair existing connections? We have the 5 of Wands. Okay, so things are supposed to be changing. Energy is supposed to be shifting. We're not supposed to be stagnating. We're supposed to stay open to our opportunities. Oh, we have the King of Goblets coming out reverse. That is the King of Cups. We're supposed to be emotionally vulnerable. Okay, so listen, what is this? The 6 of Swords. Yeah, okay, so I do see your friendships moving into healing, but I see like conflict. I see us feeling uncontrolled almost, like somebody's having an outburst here. Someone's having a little bit of a meltdown here with the King of Goblets. The best way that you can get into calmer waters with a friend who you value, a friendship that you really value, or maybe it's a friend group. I don't think so though. They're showing me one person here, and they seem to be a very emotionally overpowering energy. This is someone who has a lot of stuff going on right now. They have a lot of emotions. They have a lot of things happening. They seem to be a little bit of an energy vampire. I've got to be honest with you. With the King of Goblets here reversed, there's someone who takes up a lot of our energy. I think that the best way that we can move forward is to actually not limit ourselves to that connection. What else do you want them to know, Spirit? Why is the King of Goblets here reversed? The Magician reversed. They're saying stop wearing a mask. That makes sense with the King of Goblets reversed. Stop wearing a mask. Stop pretending to feel a certain way. Start being honest about how you were feeling. It's a very similar message to group 2, except I don't think that this means that you're not going to have any new friends. Group 3, I think that it's about actually just being honest with this person, not pretending to be okay with the amount of stuff that's going on with them. I see the King of Goblets reversed as someone who's just very emotionally demanding, almost manipulative. Like, putting us in a point where if we're not there to help them, then nobody's going to be there to help them type of thing. Like, you're my only friend, I need you there type of thing, you know? And it's like, okay, cool, but like I have other things to do as well. And it doesn't mean that I don't love you. It doesn't mean that I don't care about you. It doesn't mean that I wish you harm. It's just that I can't give you all of my energy. You're not the only thing going on in my life. I feel like with the Magician reversed, we almost got to take our power back from this person. This person feels manipulative. Why are they a good friend, Spirit? Valet of Discs. Who is the Valet of Discs? What? We have a valet in here. Excuse me, this is a new deck, so I just got to check. I think the valet would be a page, but I just want to check. Look at this cool artwork, though. How cool is that? Valet of Discs. Oh, Lord. Oh, there we go. We just passed everything. Yes, it's definitely the knight. Excuse me, the page. It's definitely the page. Valet of Discs reversed. Wow. So first of all, they're not being a good friend. Group 3, they are probably a good person, but with the Valet of Discs reversed, that tells me that they're acting very immature. That tells me that their energy right now is not a true reflection of their character. They're probably a really good person at the core of things, but their behavior, their actions right now is very immature, and it is very manipulative. You have a friend at the moment who, yes, this connection can be salvaged, but it actually requires you moving away from them. It actually requires you taking your power back from them and not putting up with this manipulative behavior, especially if you resonate as this person kind of putting you in that position where you're the only friend that I have, Amazonite. Like, please, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. If you resonate as being in that position where this person is very emotionally demanding and they're really like, you're the only thing that they've got going for them, you have to be there for them all the time, like they can't leave the house without you type of thing. I think that it is about taking your power back and letting this person's immature behavior speak for themselves. I do think that this isn't a true reflection of their character. They're probably a very nice person, but I do think that it's time for you to start saying no, and it's time for you to start saying no to their behavior. You're not rejecting them as a person, but you're certainly saying to them like, hey, listen, that's not okay. You can't treat me like this. Like, that's not okay. It's time for us to balance this connection out now. So that's what I see here for your existing connections in terms of how to repair your existing friendships. Group 3, Amazonite group. We're going to talk about the Destroyer reversed. Yeah, Spirit's saying that technically you don't have to do anything here. It's not about ending things. It's not about repairing things. It's about leaving things to let them self-destruct by themselves. And removing yourself from the equation. If you look at this card, I hope it, yes, that's perfect. You can see like the circle and you can see those eyes, which is a wolf. They're wolf eyes. There's a star in the middle. Spirit wants you out here. Let that wolf self-destruct. Let them do their own damage. You are safe. You are protected. Doesn't mean that you're rejecting them. You're rejecting their behavior. So let's move forward. We're going to ask now how you can attract new friendships. Yeah, I feel you, girl. I feel you. It is hard to do nothing sometimes, especially when, you know, you're friends for a reason. You're close for a reason, but I think that at the same time, this behavior will continue. It's a matter of like showing that you don't accept that behavior. Otherwise, people, when we know better, we do better, right? And if we don't know better, we can't do better. If we continue to accept a certain quality of behavior, then that's all that we'll get from that person until they know that we deserve to be treated better. Let's have a look at how you can attract new friendships. Group 3, how can Group 3 Amazonite group attract new friendships? How can Group 3 attract new friendships? Oh, we have the 7 of Pentacles. So first of all, I feel like you could meet people in very practical ways. The 7 of Pentacles tells me you'll most likely be able to connect more with like colleagues or co-workers or people in a study environment. I think with you guys, it's about slow and steady though. I think that you guys don't really bond to people quickly. I would say that it takes a lot of time to get to know you well. You're like an onion. You're like an ogre. You have layers. I feel like you do have layers though. And I think that underneath all of that is a very committed, loyal person who struggles to walk away when people get a bit too, used to you, a bit too comfortable around you, you know, and these boundaries start to slip. But I do think that you could meet someone in a very practical way. We're talking about work, we're talking about school, we're talking about friends of friends, connecting through acquaintances first. We're talking about giving ourselves time, not putting too much pressure on ourselves, because Spirit's reminding us with the Seven of Pentacles that good things grow with time. There's only so much that we can do. Don't beat yourself up if it's taking a little while to attract a new friend. The Seven of Pentacles is reminding us that there's a natural order to things, and certain things are out of our control. As long as we're showing up, then that's the best we can do sometimes, you know. As long as we're putting ourselves in that position, then sometimes that's the best thing that we can do. We're not expected to work miracles here, but we are expected to do what we can and release the rest, surrender the rest, essentially. Can we get more cards though, please? I'm drawing a lot of conclusions off one card. Group 3. How can Group 3 attract new friends? Oh, you have the Three of Wands coming out for you. I flipped it. It wasn't supposed to be flipped. But you have the Three of Wands coming out for you. So I do think that you have opportunities. There's something that you've already invested your energy into. This is an existing acquaintance who you don't know that well. You're not really connected to them well, but you will be. This is someone you're going to be spending a lot more time with. There's someone who you already seem to know though, Group 3. This is someone who you already know and you're spending more time with them. The Three of Wands is telling me that things could go slow. Something could be happening at a distance too. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but I think that this connection will be solidified through some sort of shared interest here with the Three of Wands. I see this as like a shared hobby. You guys might be able to bond over like some sort of entertainment. I'm seeing movies, but I feel like you'll be able to bond better through a shared interest. You'll be able to bridge that gap a little bit better and gauge the compatibility of your friendship through a shared interest is what I feel. We also have the Fool card reversed. Yeah, so I definitely think that you know this person already. I just think that they're not a close friend yet with the Fool reversed. We don't know a lot about this person yet. I also think that the Fool reversed is encouraging you to use what you do know to really peak or gauge more from this person. So for example, if you heard through mutual friends that this person likes games and maybe you're not a big gamer but you know of some games, I feel like you could drop a line and be like, hey, do you play online? Like, do you have a PC or a console? Like, what kind of gamer are you? I feel like you could kind of pique their interest that way, and it would honestly be the catalyst to your closer friendship, because I see you sharing interests with this person. You just need to have more of a conversation with them. You already know someone, Group 3, who could be a very good friend to you. I'm gonna have to drink some water, my throat's getting tight. But the Fool card reverse does tell me that this person already has a bit of bearing in your life. Like, this person seems to already have a bit of baggage with you. You just don't know each other well yet. Is there anything else you can tell us about Group 3 attracting new friends, please, Spirit? Is there anything else you can tell us about Group 3 and how they can attract new friends? Oh, why is this card creased already? Oh my gosh, have I been shuffling that violently? Like, I know I've been slapping these cards, but that's crazy. Look at this crease. Oh, you can't really see it, can you? There. That's crazy. It feels like it's there too already. Oh, gosh. Well, I'll have to be wary of that and go a bit slow, I guess. So the Two of Pentacles tells me that you may need to make room for this person to enter your life. So I do think that once you have that opening conversation, once you do delve a little bit, you're going to be pleasantly surprised with how much you two already share in common when it comes to your interests. I also think that the Two of Pentacles reversed is asking you to actually make time for this person, which tells me that they may be the one who's wanting to spend time with you, and you might be the one who has that opportunity to blow them off. You might be the one who's a little bit flaky. Yeah, I'm just hearing make room, make room. So you're not too busy to have a friend, Group 3. Maybe some of you need to know that. You're not too busy to have a friend. You deserve connection. You deserve friendship. And there are so many hours in the day. There's so many seconds and minutes in the day. You know, people out here producing quality content in a 59-second TikTok video. You can have a meaningful quality conversation. You know, you have time for this. You have time in your day. Is there anything else they need to know about attracting new friends? Oh, The Ten of Swords reversed. Yeah, I do think that in order to make more room for this person in your life, you may need to address that other friend issue that you have going on with an existing connection. You know, that Ten of Swords reversed is talking about letting yourself process that feeling of betrayal or that feeling of an end of something or a tough cycle in general. They're encouraging you to be more expressive though, and to not just cut things too short. That's how I also see a Ten of Swords, is like we're cutting things short before we get hurt. We're not allowing that person too close to us before we get hurt. We're not allowing that person to see things so that we don't get hurt. And it feels preventative, but really, instead of saving ourselves from getting hurt, we're just hurting ourselves more by limiting ourselves from experiencing something good. I do think that you would really get on with this person. I think that they will be a good friend. I think that you both need to give yourselves time though. You both seem to be very similar in the sense that it takes you a long time to consider someone a friend. You kind of keep people in the acquaintance zone for a long time. I think group 3, you seem to have acquaintances out here who you are actually very compatible with and who need to know you better. We also have the the Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Wands is kind of telling me not to give up. Like you have a fighting chance here to have a meaningful friendship with someone. I feel like the Aquarius card is telling me, like this Fool card is telling me that the two of you could have a link to technology that really is this shared interest. Like you might both be interested in a similar thing online or something. And with the Nine of Swords as your bottom deck energy, I do think that you know this person already and you may gain an epiphany with them, getting to know them better. So let's see what the advice is for you overall when it comes to friendship. Group 3, the Amazonite group. Bless. Oh, okay. Hello. The Four of Swords. Oh, bless. Four of Swords. What do you want to say? Why did you come out? Yeah, that song again. Was that you? Don't Dream It's Over, Crowded House. The Four of Swords. And it just reversed itself. Don't Dream It's Over. That song again. Don't Dream It's Over. Oh, it's so annoying. I'm going to have to cleanse the energy. That song is so persistent, group 3. All right. There's a battle ahead. Many battles are won. Isn't it many battles are lost? Anyway, that Seven of Wands is also triggering that song. Let's get some advice for you, group 3. Group 3 Spirit, what advice can you tell them when it comes to their friendship? What advice can you offer group 3 when it comes to friendship? What advice can you... Ooh. Okay. Oh, wow. We haven't seen these cards yet. So for those who are joining us, this is a new deck, and all the cards that just came out are very important special cards, except they're reversed, but I don't think that necessarily matters in this deck because it's so new. I'm not taking reversals yet. Your bottom deck energy, group 3, is the Eagle card. See from a higher perspective. So I feel like this Eagle card is similar to our New Moon in Gemini reading at the start of this video. The Eagle card is encouraging you to look ahead and to kind of gain a broader perception, to not limit yourself. You do have a meaningful connection in your life that is a valuable friend, but their behavior at the moment is very manipulative, and Spirit doesn't want you to limit yourself to that behavior. Like, you deserve balanced friendships. So I do think that they want you to kind of branch out. It's not about meeting new people, it's about fostering connections with people that you already know. There's already somebody else in your life who you share a lot of interests with and who could be a really good friend. I don't think that there's many barriers, except that a conversation needs to be had where you both kind of spark that commonality. You both need to see that you're very similar in specific ways. I do think that you could also be different, like maybe this is an opposite sex sort of thing. There's something with that Fool card reversed where someone seems to be seeing baggage and a barrier. You seem to already know this person somehow, but I do think that they're similar enough for you to not look at that as a genuine barrier, like you're genuinely going to want to spend time together. So the main advice for you, group 3, is to trust in the higher forces with the Shaman card. They're also saying move in a new direction with the Traveler card, and they're also saying be fearless and stand strong with the Warrior. So I do think that you have connections in your life that are worth fighting for with the Warrior card. They do encourage you to move in a new direction when it comes to friendship though, and to foster some of the acquaintances that you know, some of the acquaintances in your life, making them more meaningful connections for you so that you have balance, so that you have people that you can talk to and connect with. I also think that these are people that are going to bring more fun into your world as well with the Fool card. This feels like people who are going to be able to make you laugh and who you're going to want to spend time with. Like, they're not just energy vampires, they're not just demanding manipulative sort of energies, they're genuinely fun people who seem to bring you a lot of joy. And with the Shaman card here, Spirit is saying that this all has a higher sort of play. You're not technically cutting anybody out, group 3. You're not technically ending anything. You're just removing your energy and focusing it more in a more meaningful new direction. That person will still be there when they learn to act right, or that person will still be there when they're going to be more of a friend. I see that that connection is salvageable. It's not about cutting it off altogether. It's about just investing energy into a more reliable source, into something that's going to give to us equally as well. I also think the Shaman card is saying that you are protected and you're being guided to move in a new direction as well. Trust in higher forces is almost saying there's a serendipitous element about this. Like, you may run into this acquaintance at your local grocery store, and maybe the two of you just sort of notice that you're buying the same cereal. It feels like the higher forces are at play here. They're protecting you and they're also guiding you in this new direction. So group 3, that's what I see for you when it comes to friendship, sweets. I think that's where I'm going to leave it. In terms of our friendship portion, is there anything else that you guys want me to ask the Oracle decks in terms of friendship or the new moon in Gemini? It has to be one of those two topics, okay? Friendship or the new moon in Gemini. Is there anything else you guys want me to ask them? Drink. I think I will have a drink. I'm exhausted. Oh my gosh, hi Rose. Welcome. Go to the New World All-Star here on YouTube. Life hanging. Goodness. Will be friends with a specific person. Is anything changing for me in the new moon? Whew. Okay, I'll answer that first question first. What was that question, sorry? Will you be friends with a specific person? Thank you, Spirit. I needed Spirit to fill in the gaps there. Will you be friends with a specific person? Group 2, does the old friend value the friendship as much as I do? Okay, we'll talk about that too. But really quickly, will you be friends with that specific person? Oh, we have the 3 of Wands reverse, so you probably will, but I do see that sparks need to be shared here. I do see that it's not just going to happen. Oh, will it? Will it happen spontaneously? No, it's not going to happen spontaneously. Sparks need to be shared here. We need to reach common ground. With the 3 of Wands reversed, it is possible, and it's also possible that it doesn't have to be a future thing. It's something that energy is already invested in. I also think with the 2 of Pentacles reversed, it's just a matter of timing, spending more time together, having more quality time with this person. I would encourage you to kind of reach out to this person and book something physical, like the 2 of you connecting physically. I think that you guys would do better in person. Exchanging energy would suit you best. I also think that the 2 of Wands is encouraging. Oh, this is reversed too. Yeah, you're most likely going to have a friendship with that specific person that you had in mind. I do see that you do better in person with them though. This isn't the kind of person that you'd want to just leave as like a text friend or a phone call friend. This is someone who needs physical connection. The 2 of you do better in person. And with Justice reversed, I think that the issue here is creating those moments together, because technically at the moment this isn't a strong partnership with Justice reversed. So what is the advice? Ace of Wands. Yeah, you do have a new opportunity. Spirit saying seize that new opportunity. Create that new opportunity if you can. And I don't think you'll be rejected. I think this person wants friends as well. I think that they're looking for honest people as well. This person has a hard time opening up to people though. Don't take it personally. With the 7 of Swords, they've had some deceitful friends in their life, people who have taken them for granted or taken advantage of what they know as well. I see emotion and gossip. So it's not a personal thing, but I do think that this person is guarded for a reason. Once they open up, they become a very loyal, kind, charitable friend, a ride or die type of thing with the 6 of Pentacles here. So I'm just quickly going to go have a look at the new moon question as well that was raised. What is the new moon bringing? We did talk about the new moon in Gemini, but I'll quickly answer that question. What is the new moon bringing? I didn't check names either, I apologize. Oh, a moth just flew past. What is the new moon bringing? well, we kind of know this from the collective reading, but we'll see what it says. Yeah. So you're a part of that group where you're receiving a lot of growth. The new moon in general is helping us focus on things that we have overcome so that we're able to see the new beginnings on the horizon. It kind of feels counterintuitive. It feels like it's highlighting everything that we're doing wrong, but actually the new moon is bringing you the opportunity to create, to grow, and to continue growing. I'm also being shown the King of Discs, so potentially this full moon in Capricorn is going to be very impactful for you. You're going to experience a lot of movement here, this new moon in Gemini. Things are going to start to open up for you specifically. And I also think that the King of Goblets is fostering stronger emotional connections as well. So this could be a relationship. I'm not going to lie. This could be like a very significant relationship. Otherwise, it's just seen as an emotional commitment to something that you're finally getting movement towards this. You're finally seeing results towards this. And I feel like this is elevating itself because now they're showing me the Queen of Discs reverse. So I think that we're going from one thing to the other. So potentially the new moon in Gemini may make us feel like we're going a little bit backwards, but I do see that for you specifically, there's a lot of growth here. We are graduating beyond something. Very tangible energy here, a lot of earth energy here. This is definitely impacting your finances, your career, and your nearest and dearest relationships, so family and partners. Now I will ask that question about pile 2. Somebody asked group 2, does this person value the friendship the same way that I do? So I'll answer that quickly as well. Does group 2, does that person value the friendship spirit? We have the 8 of Cups. Is it reversed? It's upright. Oh my gosh. And the Emperor. Wow. The 10 of Cups reversed. Oh, I mean, don't take this for gospel. With the 6 of Cups reversed, I feel like this person is their emotions aren't here anymore. They're trying to, this person is looking elsewhere. I've got to be honest with you. This friend is, I don't know what's going on with them. They feel like they need to grow elsewhere. This friend is trying to control the situation. They could be very emotionally controlling, similar to group 2's situation, but I've got to be honest with you, with the 8 of Cups upright, that indicates someone who's walking away from something that is no longer emotionally fulfilling. And the 10 of Cups reversed tells me that this person's emotional loyalty isn't there. And the 6 of Cups reversed tells me that this person may choose to come back into your life when it suits them best, when it's in their best interest, when it's in their emotional best interest to connect to you as well. And I do think Alana Tully, an emotional aspect to the new friend in group 3. I will check that for you. I do think with the Emperor that this person prefers to be in control. I've got to be honest with you. This is someone who seems to be there when it's in their best interest to be there, but if it doesn't grow for them, if it doesn't go for them, they leave. Goodness, why are people like this? There's nothing wrong with having friends, man. There's nothing wrong with having love. All right, let's answer your question, Elena. Group 3, is there a romantic aspect to the new friend in group 3? Oops. Is there a romantic aspect to the new friend in group 3? Oh, yelling, what did you say? I'm so sorry, I keep looking away. What did you say? Oh. Oh. I would say no. I've got to be honest, I would say no. This is someone who does better as a friend, Elena. This is someone who will be better as a friend, not as a romantic partner. In fact, this is the kind of person who you may go to for advice on what to do with a romantic partner. This seems to be someone who definitely does better as a friend. With the 5 of Cups, this is a connection that will change. The way that you choose to invest your emotions in it will change, but I feel that if you fall into that group 3 section with that new friend that's coming in that you seem to already know, they seem to do better as a friend. They also offer you inside information, so they seem to be a friend of the opposite sex. If you're interested in people of the opposite sex, this person seems to also be interested in them. If that doesn't resonate, this seems to be someone who knows the people that you're attracted to well, somehow like that. They know inside information is what I'm getting. I'm also, here, let me show you what I'm seeing. I'm being shown the Ace of Goblets reversed, the Valet of Goblets reversed, which is the Page of Cups, and we also have the Fool card reversed with the Three of Wands reversed. So not a romantic interest, but this is someone who seems to have inside information over the people that you're attracted to, the people that you do want romantic intentions with. They seem to know more about that, and they seem to be able to offer you insightful information about that, which is interesting. You get to kind of walk in the shoes of the people that you're attracted to. You find out information about them, like maybe I don't know, they're friends with them as well. It's very interesting. So that's what I'm seeing, you guys. I think I'm gonna have to go. I think I have to recharge. I'm gonna have to go sit by my selenite lamp and recharge after this pick a group reading. Now, for those who just joined, the start of this video was the new moon in Gemini reading. So when I end this video, if you missed that reading, I would encourage you to go back and be able to look at that as well. There will be more live streams. There'll be different themes. I wanted to do the friendship live because I feel like the whole point of this reading is to connect, right? The whole point of asking about friendship is that we want connection. We want people who we can talk to and connect with. So it just felt right to do this reading live. But definitely go back to the beginning after I end this if you missed that new moon in Gemini reading prediction as well. It was just a collective reading. I think it went for like 30-40 minutes, so it was pretty in depth, and it did offer me a lot of clarity as well because I haven't done a reading on myself about that. So I feel like as a collective it was very insightful. Thank you so much for joining me, you guys. It was such a pleasure. I loved being able to show you these new decks as well. Expect to see more of them. I'm definitely going to be using these decks more often and really getting through all those cards in our group readings as well. Look after your beautiful selves, and until I see you next time, please stay safe, spread love, but start here. You know, don't go out there trying to carry everybody else. Look after yourself first. And I've got to get closer to the camera now so I can actually turn this off. But thank you so much, and I'll see you in another video. Bye!